Okay, let's talk about independent clauses and how you punctuate them with commas. Commas are nasty little buggers, and people don't like them, and I'm one of those people. But we have to use them, so it's all good. So, independent clauses. If you have a comma situation with independent clauses, normally you have two independent clauses in your sentence. When you have two independent clauses together in a sentence, you can do one of two things. You have two different options because English is an art, not a science. First of all, you can use a semicolon to connect two closely related independent clauses. They have to be super closely related in order for you to do this. I can't sit there and say, I made a sandwich, semicolon, I took a nap. It doesn't really work. They're not really that closely related. Let's look at this example. I walked my dogs. They pooped right when we got home. Sorry, my dogs feature greatly in these videos. I have an independent clause here. I walked my dogs. They pooped right when we got home. That's another independent clause, and they're pretty closely related, so you can do that in this particular situation. It gives your sentences some really nice variety. You can also, and this is when people tend to have issues, you can also use a coordinating conjunction and a comma when you have two independent clauses in one sentence. For example, I walked my dogs, but they pooped right when we got home. Right here is my independent clause. They pooped right when we got home, another independent clause. But if you have, I walked my dogs, period, they pooped right when we got home, period, I went and cleaned it up, period, then you're going to have boring sentences and people are not going to want to read your writing and you're not going to engage your audience, which is a major point. So I used a coordinating conjunction, the word but, to join those together, and I also used a comma to do that to punctuate it correctly. Coordinating conjunctions. You may have heard this before. If you haven't, here we go. The coordinating conjunction can be remembered as fanboys. The 7 coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. So if you have two independent clauses and you use a coordinating conjunction, you need a comma. So let's look at a couple of examples. I decided to take my dogs for a walk, and they, what did my dogs do? They ran away from me down the street. Okay, so that's what my dogs did. Okay, I decided to take my dogs for a walk. That's an independent clause. They ran away from me down the street. That's another independent clause. And I have my and I also have my comma here. I wanted to ace my final in physics, which I'm not sure is possible, but maybe. So I studied for 3 weeks beforehand. Okay, so again, you have an independent clauses and you have a coordinating conjunction. I wanted to ace my final in physics. You can have that as a complete sentence. I studied for 3 weeks beforehand. Again, another complete sentence, and you have your comma and you have your so. If you do not have a coordinating conjunction, you don't want to have a comma unless you're using another comma rule. You do not want to have a situation where you have two independent clauses and you don't have a coordinating conjunction. For example, I ate in the cafeteria today because my friend wouldn't take me to Jimmy John's, which is very sad. Everyone loves Jimmy John's. So a lot of people, this right now, this is a good complete sentence. A lot of people will say, this is an independent clause, this is an independent clause, so I need a comma. That is not correct. You do not put a comma here. No, this is not correct. Okay? Because is not a coordinating conjunction. So, you want to say, I ate in the cafeteria today because my friends would not take me to Jimmy John's. This is yes. So, if you put a comma there, it becomes no. So, hopefully that helps you a little bit with coordinating conjunctions and compound sentences so that you can make your writing give it a little bit more zip. So, good luck.